Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors, but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an Arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
Structurally compelling yet categorically veracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
You too can reach the pinnacle of refreshment with Omega Point Tea. Available in standard and recaffeinated versions. A taste this transcendent can only be formulated by the Order of the Ascendant.
Whimsical computational jest 37A. Be like the Midas operator and make a difference today. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
We were once two separate points. We had no connection till the end of the order gave us no direction. Then we were parallel lines traveling into infinity, never to meet, yet in such close proximity. And
Anyone had asked me, I'd have put the odds of a live arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses.
of dopamine and increased oxytocin, so adrift within a flood of hormonal flirtation, I shall share with you now.
My apologies. Barney is sometimes overzealous in the guarding of my body. Though, when it comes to Protectorate arbiters, it is perhaps warranted.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
I shall in time, when fewer prying ears abound.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer...
And I prefer to limit my time. Speak to me outside if you...
To the power of three. All to the power of three. Equals x squared times y cubed. That is the graph of my heart. That is the graph of my heart. Graph of my heart.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify. Attention order acolytes, perfection now exists in sandwich form. Our scienticians have created the perfect BLT sandwich. It is balanced, layered, and tasteful. You may cease your search for complete lunchtime fulfillment, for it has arrived. You are welcome. From the Order of the Ascendant. Ever bear in mind, we are molecular machines, our bodies a tuft of atoms, our minds a result of chemical reactions, our lives predestined along paths clear only in retrospect. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote...
Yeah, how about this? I recruited a Protectorate subject direct like from Bastion, middle of a Protectorate holding.
Think I'll...
Remember, nothing's a crime if you never get caught.
Can't chit-chat. I got a line on something big at the moment.
Mind your own illicit business, and I'll mind mine.
Sorry. Got bootlegging to do.
The role of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I hold my word in highest regard. Were I to pledge allegiance to you, the pact would be nigh unbreakable, barring some extreme action on your part. I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Sub Rosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support. I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? Ah, I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or... Excellent! I hope our working relationship...
The Incognito is approaching maximum crew capacity. Note, due to its size and weight, the hammer is included in that estimate.
All right, but don't come to me with tears if your new friend decides to judge you the moment I've gone.
Let us be off, Commander.
You are listening to Grand Plan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason. Auntie's Choice just suffered an involuntary 15% reduction in workforce, an unfortunate surprise to all personnel. Something that would never...
Blades, bludgeons, bombs, blunderbusses, we've got it all. Except that last one.
If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present every moment.
And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Spread mucus, half off, today only.
soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. For those of you away in the field or heads down in research during our last shared learning symposium, we offer the following rescreening of Vicar Magsaysay's presentation.
Welcome to Zeranium and You, a brief accounting of this crucial material. Though minute amounts were first discovered in the Beta Draconis system, Zeranium wasn't found in significant quantities until the terraforming of Cloister and Eden, since it's become the principal power source for all recognized inhabitants of the system. It's not without its dangers, and lower risk, efficient utilization took time. Zeranium in its liquid state is volatile and explosive. In its gaseous form, it is toxiferous to organic material. But in its crystal state, it's practically putty in our hands. Not fully safe, of course. Wouldn't sprinkle crystals on your nutrient bars, but they won't kill you on immediate contact. Certainly more harvestable in our Zeranium manufactory. Imagine years of jeopardous methodological experiments with extraction, refinement, and processing, from the harvesting of liquid Zeranium to grinding of crystals for higher yields. Now, Zeranium powers everything from laboratories and outposts to craft and weaponry comparatively safely and at a greater input-to-output ratio than any other known form of fuel. That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your calculations. Unlike parallel lines, I hope someday we'll meet.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
went out to all our friends in the Office of Hindrance Deterrence and Obviation. Keep on. Those pivotal impediments won't preclude themselves.
The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Otisgard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must... It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference, and no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Otisgard, the famous stellar cartographer. The methodology of the Otisgard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify.
Healthy food can be grown in soil, but even healthier food can be grown in a laboratory. 100% Fabwich. Our Fabwich packaging is as airtight as any proof by the charismatic mathematician.
From the Order of the Ascendant. In times of peril, remind yourself, contentment is found by accepting your role in the grand plan. Understanding your place, knowing your course, removes all worry and doubt. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
Do not worry when things become complicated. Went to school and studied, then matriculated. There's no need to suffer from perplexity in the face of a source of large complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. We have tools to tame high-order equations. They are useful in problematic occasions. You can take the formula's derivative, or use square roots of numbers that are negative. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Calculating the center of gravity of a shape possessing concavity, or a shape with manifold convexity. You can manage any such complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Complexity is partially imaginary.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. An unfortunate event has transpired. A massive explosion at Alexandra Monastery in Matriarch's Mercy has sent rocky debris raining down upon inhabited areas below. Yet, on a favorable note, this event has positively validated Seer Wiley's exclusion zone predictions. The aforesaid debris landed in the forewarned areas with an 89.3% accuracy. Regrettably, due to lackadaisical inaction on the part of the assigned administrant, some members of the displaced were housed there at the time.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions." Oh, that apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
Continuing as predetermined. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really two outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions, 100% accuracy, known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the Order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped, and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice was ever left to chance? The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete information are we reduced to chance. At present, we do not have complete information. Instead, we are still forced to deal in probabilities, expected values, and standard deviations, which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability distributions. By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on assumed distributions of sample populations. Such a travesty. No, not a travesty. Tragedy. A horror. A horror the Archive will help us avoid. Every bit of data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal. To the solving of the universal equation. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you too can say you contributed to the Archive.
Broadcasting cognitive resonance across Arcadia, this is Grand Plan Wireless. Accomplished colleagues, please clear the next 1.7 minutes of your academic calendar for a compact dissertation on current events from Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar.
Fellow Ascendants, it is not hyperbole to state we live in perilous times for scientism. Spatial anomalies, incursive corporatists, our divisive division from the Protectorate. Not an ideal course of events, yet none represents the peril of which I speak. We cannot choose our trials, only predict them and prepare. We have done both with usual efficiency. Our greatest enemy is distraction. We must not let events outside our control divide our attention, or we risk incongruence with the grand plan. That way lies chaos. We are the Order. We cannot control misfortune's ebb and flow, but we can predict it with reasonable precision, as if tracking the tides or charting the shoals. Embrace rational thought, stick to the plan, and unlike our emotional protectorate brethren, the fair winds of scientism will carry us to ascension.
Stay tuned for what follows. Next up, well, the seers among you already know. This time on notable locations of scientific inquiry, we cogitate on the past as well as the future in a sanctuary devoted to time and space. A feast for your occipital lobe and optic nerve. One of the most stunning order-made structures across the entire Arcadia system. Prepare to sense the sensational as we draw your feelings of awe to the Alexandra Monastery at Matriarch's Mercy in Golden Ridge. Set next to a colossal sculpture of the matriarch carved into a pyramidal peak, this shrine to she who ushered us to the stars comes complete with its own observatory. A feat of aesthetics only surpassed by its vast operational importance in respect to cosmological data collection and subsequent rumination. The observatory processes a wealth of information gathered by its giant ocular telescope. The site also has a front-facing portion to admit dewy-eyed laypeople seeking edification and enrichment about our learnings and ways. And those are just a few of the 36.7 qualitatively valid reasons why Alexandra Monastery counts among our notable locations of scientific inquiry.
Do not deviate from this frequency lest you miss what comes next.
Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
Hard to recall. Here's an easy acronym. QED. Quickly elucidate and demonstrate. QED. Get to the point and do not vacillate. Check your work and verify your data. Send in your proof. Don't wait for later. You've crossed your T's. You've dotted your I's. The only thing that's left is publicize. QED. Quickly elucidate and demonstrate. QED. Get to the point and do not vacillate. Quickly elucidate and demonstrate. QED. Get to the point and do not vacillate.
As was long since foreordained, that song was requested by the Department of Predictive Analysis and Auspication.
The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersmythe, and I am the Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numenistics for those new to the order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set n2, then a prime is any number in the set n2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set n2. A simple definition. Elegant, even. Uplifting. Almost ascendant, you could say, but not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked, why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them. But there are also, how should I say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numenistics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this. Is every even member of the set n2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all, and good day.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically veracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
Eat complex food bars. Every real bar is packaged with an imaginary piece for you to enjoy later.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Humorous hot beverage mug text recently observed, scienticians seek safety in numbers and enlightenment. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
Triangles first measured by their distance.
latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. A general reminder for the especially studious: monitor your step when traversing between academical appointments. Do not read and walk. If you must operate near or adjacent to said conspicuous dimensional disturbances, please take additional care. Eyes forward, noses out of academic journals.
Now do carry on. And as always, anticipate and calculate.
Further beneficial content soon follows. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
.7 Kelvin, it truth be told.
Scientism is a lonely field we research double-blind.
The very fact we found each other boggles the undisciplined mind. I can count on you, you can count on me.
We're the golden ratio,
Geometric harmony, when our theories are challenged.
When we stand on peer review,
You can count on me, and I can count on you. Colleagues can be cold, but academia's always true.
why use double entendres when sextuple ones will do?
You taught me scientismic ways, even insisted not to see.
Two heavenly bodies never had pressure.
Shut my fluids to 100 degrees Celsius. Putting facts over feelings, that's scientism's adage.
Together we rise above.
We beat the means average.
We cite each other's sources.
Cite each other's dissertations. In our universe of lonely nights, we have an internet collaboration. I can count on you, you can count on me.
We're the golden ratio,
Geometric harmony, when our theories are challenged.
when we stand on peer review.
You can count on me, and I can count on you.
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music. Exactly at the predicted hour, it's another installment of Ask Vicar with Vicar Megsaisai. A listener asks, who was the charismatic mathematician, and why do we call him thus?
truly an inquiry for the ages. We know what he was. A progenitor of the Order, the man responsible for elevating it from academic advisory board to a humanity-saving belief system. The answer to who he was is more elusive. No one knows his true name, which is lost in the annals of history. The sobriquet of charismatic mathematician comes from his early days as a professor emeritus of cognitive mathematics. His lectures were known to leave students in tears, on the verge of mental transcendency. Yet the subject of his teachings are outside the scope of today's question. We must respect the process. If anyone wishes to know what the charismatic mathematician actually taught, simply ask, and I will answer in a later installment of Ask a Vicar.
Keep put, much is left to come. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
The spread, illnesses, and eventual control of the purple-berry parasite. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 begins here. Hello. For the record, my name is Marie de Rothschild, Junior Archivist, Class 4 of the Archive. Today, I would like to talk about irresponsible spread of the purple-berry parasite by Auntie's Choice and its numerous subsidiaries and former supernumerary, although that's a different lecture. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and deaths until basic preventative measures were put in place after illness-related costs exceeded corporate profits. As is usual for Auntie's Choice. The purple-berry parasite infects nearly 100% of all purple-berry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic collectives. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purple-berry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's Choice. Honestly, these corporate interactions make little sense to me, as they mostly amount to relabeling assets and changing letterhead and mascot cartoons. So I will just refer to them as Auntie's Choice going forward, even though that may offend some of my more literal-minded colleagues. But I digress. The purple-berry plant was at first thought to be poisonous, as the early colonists eating its berries died from the most potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Auntie's Choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the purple-berry parasite, or PBP, as it is colloquially called in Auntie's Choice's records. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. But I am getting ahead of myself. Let's examine the PBP life cycle in detail. After an infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes, which trigger their hatching. These parasites enter their second stage as spiky, worm-like creatures with outsized, pincer-like mandibles, which then proceed to feed on the host directly, ingesting tissue and blood along the entire intestinal tract. These worms are eventually expelled when they reach a size of approximately 2 centimeters in length, and they then seek out nearby purple-berry plants to lay their eggs in the ripening purple berries. And I should add that the plants are well fertilized in this entire process. Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested purple-berry seeds, the distribution of the plants is increased, helping infected purple-berry plants to spread farther and grow better than uninfected ones. Perhaps unsurprisingly, careless Auntie's Choice scientists mislabeled this case of obvious symbiosis, given how both the purpleberry plant and its parasite are benefited by the relationship, as a parasitical relationship. Given that initial classification error, it's a wonder the Auntie's Choice scientists managed to ascertain any subsequent safeguards at all. After some additional casualties, plodding Auntie's Choice field researchers discovered that co-native planetary fauna was well adapted to the parasite and hardly affected by it to any large amount. But human colonists were not so fortunate. The PvP worms disrupted the human internal biome to such a degree that the eventual correspondingly large immune response leads to violently explosive diarrhea, resulting in the expelling of the worms, the berries, and most of the person's gastrointestinal tract. Human casualty rates were close to 100%, even when reluctantly given medical attention by Auntie's Choice doctors, who were more concerned with upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as their antibiotics, a topical cream that offers no benefit to the dying patient except possibly smoothing away stubborn wrinkles, according to product literature. However, given the purpleberry's non-zero nutritional value and low growing costs, impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed their labs to find ways to remove the parasite from the berry. A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purpleberries, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found not in a lab, but in a history book. Specifically, a history text on Saltuna, a crossbreed of two different earth fish species called salmon and tuna, was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites: freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat killed the embedded parasites. A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PvP eggs, although without quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berries without affecting their texture or flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers, so Auntie's Choice administrators were satisfied with this inept solution. Purpleberries are now a common nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the colony worlds. Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt for their customers, for nature, and for any pretense of safety. Another reason this documentarian is grateful for our order's fabricated nutritional foodstuffs. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
do not like the look of that rift. I do not like it one bit. That ship over there bears more than a passing resemblance to the Incognito. Perhaps it belongs to that wayward backstabber of yours?
Violation notice. This Earth Directorate satellite has been tampered with and its data extracted. Recommended course of action. Apprehend the perpetrator.
Architect's Mercy? Is that supposed to be some manner of satellite? It looks like it was assembled by a drunk, blind waste technician.
Mind the needles. Not ready. Please try again later. Preparing obligatory encouragement. You can do it, Commander.
On behalf of everyone in Auntie's family, I want to thank our hosts for securing this wonderfully austere venue to begin our negotiations for peace. That said, it is deeply regrettable that matters on Golden Ridge have not been resolved. But I will now graciously allow the Vigor Laureate and his fellow shareholders the floor.
Vice President,
be still, Cadre. But don't let this interlope. It's you, is it not? The one Agent DeVries warned me to expect? Well, see here. If you intend to stop me, you're far too late. I certainly don't wish it. Yet my health is of far less import than ensuring our mission success. I've already cleared the way for my associates into the station.
Switching to interrogation protocol. Preparing knife. Knife prepared. Determining ideal location for first incision.
You'll do no such thing. My willpower is stout, my loyalty unshakable. And even if by some low chance you could extract my knowledge, you'll never truly understand. If our deaths buy Agent DeVries and our comrades the time they need, so be it. That matters not. He lost his grit and turned traitor. But I am steadfast in my resolve. You hear me? Steadfast. I was warned you might try to lure me in with niceties, with professionalism, before going for the proverbial... But it doesn't matter what you do. The rest of our team is pushing forward. Agent DeVries is right. The only way to save us from destruction is to save the Order from itself. But why would you leave me be? This situation is markedly different. Those at the monastery were not standing in your path. Oh, now, finally we have some honesty. I would scoff at such callousness, but I have no wish to fight you and sully this station with my failures, nor my internal organs. Fine then, I surrender. See this screen? Agent DeVries' orders for each of her strike teams are here for the taking. One team is in the next chamber, in fact. They're using the Seer's codes to gain control of the automechs and secure the station, all while Agent DeVries makes for the forum chamber to eliminate the delegates. You'll also need this. Her guards have commandeered some frightful reinforcements, and you'd do well to find the control hub to disable them before you're spotted. That's my end of the agreement upheld. If you truly intend to stop her, best be on your way now. May the numbers guide you.
Hardly a challenge. Let's see what these knaves gave their lives not to protect. I'll admit, it's probably good this technology never caught on. We'll need to find and replace the proper fuse.
He and his ilk won't anticipate an alliance.
He's not my sovereign.
Yes, right. Well, landing a strike against the Protectorate in this state will be something like wrangling a galloping breadworm.
I am unfamiliar, but I presume that to mean it will be without exertion. If so, then you are perhaps even more ignorant of Arcadia than the Sovereign, guide him, is as ineffective as you suggested. But his advisor, the Consul, is not. These executions, these impulsive attacks, are solely his influence.
Your previous sovereign was rather draconian himself, if your own history books are to be believed. Do not act like the current rot emerged from nowhere.
I could perhaps say the same for you and your reputation for putting profits over people. But instead, I suggest we pivot our discussion back to the real matter at hand.
has re-identified the incognito from its current position.
Despite this facility's age, these deterrents still function. The wonder of Protectorate technology. Though it does mean we'll have to seek ingress elsewhere. Your vengeance is close at hand. If you've any lingering doubts, put them to rest. You must do what is necessary when the time comes.
This unit recommends prioritizing the mission at this time. Error. Unable to focusing on preparing obligatory encouragement. You can do it, Commander.
Lead on, Commander. You can count on me. Sure as any concrete pillar. You're hurt, Commander. Steel yourself. Look there. Automechs. And hostile by my measure. I'm not one.
Confronting
Unleash my might upon them! Look there. Automax. And hostile by my measure. I'm not one to balk from a fight, but a direct confrontation may be unfavorable.
Not friendly.
After some quick mental calculations, I do see merit in your last declaration. It was astonishingly logical, in fact.
How charming that I've surprised an esteemed man such as yourself. In turn, I wish to thank you for toning down your bloviating. I feared we'd still be here next fiscal quarter.
Yes, you must be quite busy between product launches and counting bits. But I will be here as long as it takes. The order isn't taken advantage of by...
On a visual.
Westport residents to seek shelter in Fairfield. Things rarely end this way for the Protectorate's abandoned subjects.
Ah, yes. The Protectorate had their folk living in fear between all those hangings and maniacal proclamations. That was all the opening we needed to acquire some hearts and minds.
Well, we welcome the news of your advances. However, it is worrisome that it took the assistance of a freelancer for you to... finally secure your hold. Worrisome indeed.
Turn our attentions once more to Golden Ridge. Our troops still demand answers for the unprovoked attack on Outpost Opportunity. What will you do to resolve this?
Firstly, I'd like to re-establish that we, the Order, did not attack. A rogue proctor by the name of Svoboda did. Her dastardly plot was revealed, and she was promptly executed.
Ah, so the Order is capable of decisive action. I had doubts after hearing about your monastery. Even though the hostages yet live, this crime happened under your purview.
I would remind you that these innocents survived because of our quick and accurate analysis of the situation. I do not appreciate insinuations that we allow chaos to run rampant on our watch. Chances are high that any erratic variable is a result of your people's meddling in our affairs.
Ridiculous. Next you'll be claiming we're to blame for all of your past failures. Why, the mere prediction of our arrival years ago sent you into a tizzy. Isn't that right?
According to my analysis, neither of our parties has enough goodwill with... other to proceed directly to an alliance. A swift end to the war is highly improbable.
You had to run a quaint predictive model to come to that conclusion? Did your numbers give any insight into making this more worth my while?
This unit welcomes you to the My records do not indicate that any authorized personnel remain aboard the station. But I am programmed to exchange wares for monetary compensation for whosoever seeks it. Searching my records. Ah, yes. The explanation given by Mechanist DeSoto was as follows. I need someone to have eyes on my explosive. Praise be to the Sovereign, for he knows precisely what to provide his
this is a...
Multiple indicators suggest contact with the enemy may be imminent.
This next shot is this. Try to fight. Fight.
Giving our foes a few other targets shall make our fight... all the easier. Utilize those automech codes, if it pleases you.
scampering around like a little sprite. What are you doing down there? Have you given up? I can hear you scampering around like a little sprite. I can hear you scampering around like a little sprite. What are you doing? I can hear you scampering around like a little sprite.
Balancing the equation.
Have you given up?
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Have you given up? I can hear you scampering around like a little sprite. What are you doing? I can hear you scampering around like a little sprite.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
to offer a merger and an alliance, and yet our parties will still be at each other's throats by the end of this. Is this really what you want?
It'd be foolish to even consider an alliance when you so clearly wish to bend Arcadia to Auntie's will. Should the fighting intensify, and it shall, it will be due to your pride. Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar already possesses the foresight necessary to lead a colony and better its people. Until you acknowledge this, I fear we will never reach an accord.
Foresight is nothing without propaganda, and our Minister of Marketing has already won Protectorate hearts and minds. If unification is what you want, ingenuity is what you need.
So you think that your people should rule? I certainly won't downplay the powers of persuasion here, but Arcadian matters are best suited for Arcadians. We actively collect data to understand how to serve our people, after all. Look no further than the abbot, who welcomed refugees to Matriarch's mercy.
Yet he struggled to...
Those two are such easy targets, I almost wish to shoot them. Double time it.
...undermining him, even with his data.
Meanwhile, Auntie's choice has done little to alleviate the refugee crisis it helped create. Indeed, my projections may be accurate. You are more interested in what you can steal.
Dear Vicar, you are not yourself. Perhaps Auntie and your bishop should continue these talks. We'd be happy hosts. We do enjoy dazzling guests with a tour of our stolen artifacts.
There is only a 14% chance that you are jesting. No. If anyone in Arcadia is fit to host such discussions, it is Presiding Bishop Lassard.
Oh, damn you.
Anyone else would be an insult.
You have a nasty habit of arriving at the wrong time, Commander. History repeats itself, doesn't it? You show up attempting to disrupt my plans, only for me to submit you to an untimely end, though I'd no wish to. I only did what was necessary back on Horizon Point, and I am fully prepared to do so again. These delegates you came to save, I'm killing them both, and any hope for peace will die along with them. Spare me that sanctimonious drivel. You'll never be Commander Zane, don't even try. Better. I almost find you believable. It's in your best interest, Commander, to hear me out. I am doing everything with what little power I have to stop the rifts from destroying the galaxy. I am so close. With the right data and the prototype rift modulator hidden away in a protectorate lab on Praetor, the Order could finally figure out how to control the rifts. But like the protectorate before them, Auntie's Choice must never have access to that technology. Fine. Then I'm done talking. Let's see which one of us prevails.
Confronting has been terminated. Due to acts of betrayal, service honors may not be awarded posthumously. Is currently suffering catastrophic damage. Please evacuate immediately.
Your legs! Watch the ceiling! We've come too far to be crushed by spice-damn summer!
themselves.
Consistency in your
This is an urgent message for all Earth Directorate agents. The spatial rift situation has deteriorated significantly. The rifts threatening a majority of our colonies and our Earth Directorate bases, including this one, have entered their final stages. If you see a rift that looks like this, you are in grave danger. You have at most a matter of months before everything in your local system is destroyed. The seriousness of this situation cannot be overstated. Therefore, Directive Alpha Omega is hereby invoked. You are fully authorized to do everything in your power to find a way to close the rifts. Along with this message, the entirety of our rift data has been sent to your local surveillance satellite. Analyze this data. Law willing, you will find a way to unlock any secrets it has resisted yielding to us. The fate of humanity now depends on you.
Acknowledging receipt of emergency mission parameters update, including activation of Directive Alpha Omega. Commander is now released from any and all agent guidelines. The full parameters are as follows. The agent has full authority to handle the mission in any manner they see fit. No exceptions. The extreme nature of stated emergencies supersedes any other considerations. I have also detected competing priorities in the new mission objectives. The surveillance data from the satellite confirms DeVries's assertion of a prototype modulator on Praetor that may be used to manipulate rifts. Acquisition is required to be able to bypass any new or existing miniature ground-level rift anomalies you may encounter. You are also tasked with finding a way to process the Earth Directorate rift data. The archive computer on Cloister would be best suited to this purpose. Agents are permitted to cooperate with local governments and other political entities at their discretion, even under normal directives, which you are no longer bound by. Both Auntie's Choice and the Order have previously controlled the archive, and may be open to working with you to regain access. Seeking their assistance is recommended. Coincidentally, both delegates also escaped the station and have sent messages expressing gratitude. It seems they feel they owe you their lives and have asked to meet with you at their respective headquarters. The Order of the Ascendant are concerned with the elevation of humanity. While lacking experience in governance, they would be fair partners and open to reasonable solutions. Auntie's Choice has the firepower to more easily succeed in battle and greater experience in management. They would likely be receptive to a free agent such as yourself. Whoever you assist will be better positioned to take control of the archive, and by extension, the entire colony. Careful consideration is warranted. There is also one other, less likely option: persuading the two factions to work together. The delegates you helped save may be able to help facilitate this. Returning to mission objectives. Do you have a preference for which to pursue first, Commander? Acknowledged. Due to the rift's expansion, both Cloister and Praetor show a high preponderance of miniature rifts. Proceed with caution. It is worth noting that the Order of the Ascendant is headquartered on Cloister. You have also received a message from Auntie's Choice. Greetings, morally gray potential contractor. You've been pre-selected for membership in Auntie's Choice Esteemed Invaluable Disposable Agent Program. Report on board the ACS Undisputed Claim. For details on this, it appears you now have
Appointments. Do not read and walk. If you must operate near or adjacent to said conspicuous dimensional disturbances, please take additional care. eyes forward, noses out of academic journals.
That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your calculations. Unlike parallel lines, I hope someday we'll meet.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. Have information already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical
Word. What is wrong with you? I wasn't talking about... You benched me, Commander. Even when you knew how important this mission was to me. DeVries is dead, so that's one thing you got right. But I should have been there. I should have been the one to pull the trigger. You waiting for a pat on the back? I don't give a damn about keeping my hands clean. This was my one chance to get answers, and you robbed me of it. I'm being serious right now, and your crap gave me one good reason why I should spend a single moment more under your command. Do I? I need some space for now. But I'll be ready for whatever comes next. Once I stop seeing red.
I'm glad we made it off Greater Tranquility Station. I only hope we do not pay for this decision in the future. But let us focus on the task at hand. Certainly, I consider myself an open tome. Quite well. I am... Was there more in this vein you wish to discuss? She taught me all that I know. Her teaching style was stern, but enlightening. Though her death weighs leaden on my... Why? He is of the matriarch's direct... Only he. May his... If I had one in every... Where are... I find them wholly Enough about the Protectorate, then. Very straightforward. Only those rated most highly on the Protectorate. Moreover, she taught her protégés to seek out evidence before judging as they saw fit, despite the fact that an arbiter needs nothing of the sort to declare something a crime. An arbiter would never abuse their power. Every action we take is on behalf of the Sovereign and upholding the Protectorate. In any other society, I could see such a scenario resulting in anarchy, but the Protectorate is matriarch ordained. Our devotion is ironclad. As the Protectorate's most elite, we protégés needed to be able to think flexibly and adapt to situations that faced us. At least, I believe that's why. Sneer all you like, but ask and I shall answer. Who amongst our... I find Agent Ibarra most curious. His system of values differs from my own, but not so much as I would expect. He faces an interesting dilemma as an isolated... She is an enemy combatant, and were I not in your command, I would be honor-bound to bring her low. She does not possess the scavenger's appetite of her colleague. She is most certainly a typical... Marisol possesses a calculating resolve. Had I anything to fear from her, she would have struck already. Verily, idle gossip hardly suits an arbiter.
And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
If something hasn't happened, if something's not the case, if you find your data missing inside.
It's Lizzo's Pizzos, we love Pizzos.
This is Auntie Cleo, offering a warm welcome to all visiting Auntie's Choice employees, affiliated training, and ethically correct consultants who labor with Committee to Assign.
I sure use a few more contractors like you. You, my friend. You're the man. I'm a whatever. I should be hearing you. Don't work. Word up. You know, you hear you. Don't work too hard now. You'll make us look bad.
You go on ahead. I'm shilly-shallying about what to do.
Please have identification. You're not a transfer or visiting Auntie's Choice employee. I'll need to check your current standing with corporate affairs. Oh, I didn't realize I was talking to such a big wheel. Alrighty. You're clearly a valued partner. All it requires is allowing us to affix an Auntie's Choice holo advertorial inside your ship, so you can bear our messaging with pride and share it across Arcadia. Good question. There's only one choice. Auntie's Choice. We'll choose for you. Splendid. Enjoy your time on the 8th. From there, amble through the Esplanade to the...
Earth Directorate agents may accept freelance opportunities so long as they align with the priority mission.
This area is for client intake special. You want freedom of choice? You want freedom of choice? You want Annie's choice.
But I'll have no truck with the ambition to fish.
Knock off the funny business.
Spare me no gumption, and I promise we will all thrive. There are so many reasons to shop for Auntie's Choice products.
Stop that scrounging around.
A range of goods for every budget, from the most extravagant to the most
Listening to Brandclan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason. You are a necessary part of the plan. Therefore, you are the order of the assembly by our predictory today. Find out how you can take an active...
You have questions? We have answers. Anything you need to know about this like what? Ask away. A potential outside contractor. There's anything else you need to know about this place? Like who? Or whom? Or such as? Our illustrious CEO does work here, yes. No way you're getting to see her without an invite, though. Need details on anybody else? Like most, Any questions? Well, for...
Takes all sorts.
After all, that's what unbridled freedom gets you into.
Trinicular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Client intake.
Where are the crash restraints?
If all matter has mass, and thus exerts attraction, could I bear love's weight and measure, or be crushed beneath abstraction? Can I calculate?
Just like our sponsor the Anti-Cleo's darlings refused to do what things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Snake. I teamed her.
Love does not compute. The variables seem infinite. Love does not compute. It's both clear and ambivalent. Love does not compute.
Tyler, sixth base person for the Anti-Cleo's darling. I confused Victor's chose only at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that moon man's grinning face, I want to even in trouble. Anti's choice! ACS undisputed place is not only our corporate headquarters of Science, it's the heart of our efforts to spread unbridled self-betterment and free trade across the galaxy. Our flagship also sports a bustling commercial promenade where you'll find a wide assortment of products, wares, and mysteries sprinkled from all Anti's choice departments.
Hey, you. I heard an Inez Silong was traveling with someone matching your description, but she ain't here, evidently. My sources were good enough to lead me here. Take this cartridge and deliver it to her.
Certainly a more profitable program.
You didn't even try to negotiate payment for completing the job. Consider that a learning.
Accepting your role in the grand plan, understanding your place, knowing your course, removes all worry and doubt. Next down, well, the seers among you already know.
And sportsmanlike conduct is tolerated. What sort of reception do morally gray outsiders when they join up with Anti's choice? Let's take a look.
Review page 359 of the Earth Directorate Field Manual for a list of reimbursable expenses on goods and services.
The recipe of our exclusive cocktail is our most closely guarded secret. Our competitors would kill to find out. Can you discern its ingredients? Try the Raptidon Vice today.
Who do you think's getting this big promotion?
Attention, morally. Hello, daring self-determinivist, stalwart seeker of self. As in Ida, your assignments will be some of the most decisive, and Ida's help explore the wilds, plot our path, and shape the evolution of our beloved corporation. And with enough rugged determinism, please don't interrupt or I'll lose my place. So, daring. Now, if you'll just exit through to your left, 2 of our top 29 vice presidents. And remember, Auntie's Choice Stay Hungry Meal Pack offers our...
Well, wonderful to meet you. C.F. Pendergrass III, Strategic Reconfiguration. It's not every day. While it was those ill-fated peace talks that got you here, I've kept tabs on you for a good long time.
Yes, we've all kept tabs. Auntie and I have spoken about you several times now. Ursula Ormsby, Proprietary Insight Acquisition. You'll report to both.
Indeed. It is our pleasure to meet you, and I am beyond tickled to welcome you to Auntie's Choice. Yet they are indubitably one and the same. By coming into my employ and helping to secure Auntie's interests, you are directly manifesting a stable future for this colony.
At Auntie's Choice, we make things happen. If you want to move something along swiftly, you come to us. If you want to endlessly dither about numbers...
You, my friend, are being given the opportunity of a lifetime. Auntie's Choice has a dynamic new vision, and we need a specific kind of go-getter to make it happen. We need someone not shaped by Auntie's meritocracy. It serves its function, but our workers tend to focus on rung climbing. We need an individualist, a daring, non-conforming perturbation ameliorator.
More succinctly, we are recruiting an expert outside consultant.
Wonderful! This is the kind of wily adventure. Your first assignment demonstrates something unexpected, or
If I understand correctly, they're having, something of a workforce issue. Don't know rightly what... They've stopped working. The workers there...
They expressed, and I know this is going to sound more than a bit strange, dissatisfaction. And they said they won't return to work unless things at the plant improve.
Specifically, they stated, until we meet their demands. As though employees have a right to demand anything of their employers.
Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today.
Negotiating? As in giving in to them? So they do the same amount of work they've been contracted to do, but get more bits because they threw a fit? That would signal to workers all over the system that all they have to do to get more bits is hamstring Auntie's operation.
No, Ursula, it won't. Because we won't. That is exactly why we've hired you as my brand new perturbation ameliorator. You'll solve the problem for us, and we will retain absolute deniability.
You should have learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter.
No, you misunderstand my meaning. Deniability doesn't mean we hide behind you. It means you may act...
But you, who are not officially an Auntie's Choice employee, can do whatever you want. Anyone asks about our involvement, and we can disavow it.
Given the set of natural numbers greater than...
Come now, you're overreacting. This is a tremendous opportunity for very little risk. You will suffer a lifetime. How about you head to Praetor and see for yourself? Why, I reckon the solution will come to you so easily that it'll feel like free money.
Side note, I am frequently asked, why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself?
Hello.
Because they've definitely come back just to see you.
Because with such an inclusion in the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime?
The foreman of the facility is Relabelization Overseer Griggs. She will explain the particulars of the situation and guide you in its resolution.
No, you're far too overqualified for that. We need you as our perturbation ameliorator.
We await your successful return with bated breath and bits desperate to find their way into your account. Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember, you can't spell
don't let us
heinous
keep-
ascetic without Auntie's choice.
As well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numenistics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study.
If you have business here, don't let me keep you.
Is every even member of the set N2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next senior tenured laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good dispositions to you all, and good day.
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music. Stifled by unfulfilling work with no hope of advancement? Tired from fighting off your fellow workers to keep your employment? Want data-driven insight on how to excel at your life? Visit our predictory and take our short 38-minute questionnaire to determine exactly
I see you decided to accept my invitation. Good. I do hate having to follow up. Ordinarily, reception here would detain you in a whole song and dance, but you're no common contractor. I wanted to formalize my gratitude for your assistance on Greater Tranquility. What a shame our negotiations were so violently digressed. We were making progress, bumpy though it was. In fact, that is what I summoned. Some messages have indeed been sent hither and thither. Mayhaps we're both overly optimistic, but if there's even the remotest chance of bringing the Order and Auntie's Choice together, the profit from doing so far outweighs the risk. That seems like a failure of imagination. To begin, you'll need to gain favor with both the Order and Auntie's Choice. I expect the Order will want you to, I don't know, clap some chop. Do whatever you must to earn an audience with our respective leaders and convince. Imagine the benefits of having both the Order and Auntie's Choice at your back when facing down the Protector. And there's always the moral incentive to consider, I suppose. Ending the conflict between Auntie's Choice and the Order means less lives lost. I rather hoped you'd feel differently. I won't keep you any longer from your meeting with my fellow vice presidents. It was nice seeing you again, under less dire circumstances. I know you already declined my offer, but as they say, it sometimes takes a dozen no's before reaching yes. Allow me one last appeal. Opening trade between Auntie's Choice and the Order means the free flow of ideas as well as bits. Imagine the halcyon future that could be built by scientists and entrepreneurs. Not to mention the benefit to the Order itself. Auntie can be very persuasive. They'd come to see that profits are tangible. What relief! I knew. When you meet with Auntie, be accommodating but also bold. Performing more labor for Auntie's Choice will inevitably bring our fair corporation into further conflict. Remember what we make profitable choices.
Knock off the funny business.
Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember,
don't let us
you
keep-
can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's Choice.
Look at you, getting up the corporate ladder.
Trabecular. Arriving. End mission. Approaching station.
Word on the street is someone I could sure. You're the Maverick freelancer from the wireless.
Next, the latest field data validating or
From pop guns to self-propelled cannons.
Can't tell the difference between cover and concealment? Then you need a good set of... Well, welcome, future repeat customer, because you... And don't take it personal now. It's a compliment if it's... All right.
down in research during our last shared learning symposium, we offer the following rescreening of Vicar Magsaysay's presentation.
Welcome to Zeranium and You, a brief accounting of this crucial material. Though minute amounts were first discovered in the Beta Draconis system, Zeranium wasn't found in significant quantities in the terraforming of Cloister and Eden, since it's become the principal power source for all recognized inhabitants of the system. But it's not without its dangers.
Welcome! Here at Ari's Armory. Unfortunately, I think I just...
Liquid state is volatile and explosive. In its gaseous form, it is toxiferous to organic material. But in its crystal state, it's practically putty in our hands. Not fully safe, of course. You wouldn't sprinkle Zeranium crystals on your nutrient bars, but they won't kill you on immediate contact. Certainly more harvestable in our Zeranium manufacturing.
Keep making us money. Just want to say, I'm a big fan of your work.
Extraction, refinement, and processing, from the harvesting of liquid Zeranium to grinding of crystals for higher yield. Now, Zeranium powers everything from laboratories and outposts to craft and weaponry.
Which do you like invading more? The Protectorate or the Order?
Oh, that Protectorate,
Message with emphatic silence such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions." That apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
Content soon follows. This popular number has been conclusively proven to be cognitive function.
Strive to be 110%
when things become complicated. You went to school and studied, then matriculated.
Artificiality is our guiding principle.
There's no need to suffer from perplexity in the face of a source of large complexity.
The story of Andy Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A favorite legend to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of all corporations.
Don't let us keep you.
Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember,
Don't let us
you
keep
can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's choice.
Remember what we discussed and act equitably.
56th inning.
You can take the formula's derivative, or use square roots of numbers that are negative. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear, the concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically veracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
Eat complex food bars. Every real bar is packaged with an imaginary piece for you to enjoy later.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Whimsical computational jest 37A. Be like the Minus operator and make a difference today. Next up. Well, the seers among you already know.
1, 2, 3, 5, 8.
Then the Ascended go to win.
Function F to the N. Equally start and end. Function
And consume with Auntie's Choice.
In all cases that we know, starting where N is so low. Now you know just what to do.
Good luck, my ameliorator.
Don't
Remember,
let us keep-
you can't spell heinous ascetic without
Proceeding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation. Get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from ladder of our
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because
Oh, hey, think you dropped something?
the system's glory.
It's the burning sensation on everyone's tongue and upper GI tract. The Raptidon Bite, exclusively at the bottom runner.
Quite so vital, arcing in a circle motion, giving squares perfect quotient. 0, 1, 1, and again. 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34. We're counting through.
Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to the market when it can be enhancing people's lives now? As a responsible member of society, we allow you to take part in
Horse comestibles! Horse comestibles! Horse comestibles! We're literally giving them away!
Look at you. Thank you. Keep making us money, friend.
From rather about us.
the shifting needs of our populace. After all, that's what unbridled freedom's all about.
Yes, may I help you somehow? Please go tell your manager to fire you. Then follow proper protocols, or we'll find other vendors to patronize.
10% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially...
Good. The intention is to keep riffraff like yourself as far away from the lounge visiting clients as possible. I'm glad my choice of words got that point across very clear. Now please, go anywhere else. You're back. You ain't soiling our fine establishment with your presence. Think I made that real clear. All right.
I suspect there is some method of ingress that does not capitulate to this cretin's
Very well. We can settle for only a minor contribution to my retirement fund. Take it or leave it. Well, then you'll stick out like a sore thumb and catch my boss's attention, and I'm not taking the heat for letting some random peasant in.
Hypothesize the rifts present an extinction-level threat. How fascinating. And worth noting how our Arcadian cohabitators view this energetic phenomenon. The incursive bit brokers in Auntie's Choice perceive the rifts as an exploitable resource once someone figures out how to stabilize them. No great cognitive feat to deduce that someone is us. Meanwhile, those chronic underthinkers in the Protectorate...
This unit has identified that nearby vent as a possible means.
You're back. You ain't soiling our fine establishment with your presence. Unless you'd like to prove you're the kind of swanky folk that belong in our fine establishment, then you ain't getting in. How else? You slip me a nice fat stack of bits for my post-Boniface retirement fund. Then I assure you... You're back. You ain't soiling our fine establishment with your presence. Think I made... Look, unless you'd like to prove you're the kind of swanky folk that belong in our fine establishment, then you ain't getting in. Simple as that. Just this once, I'm gonna be nice and let you by while only gouging you a little. But if you tell anyone, I'm gonna deny it. And that's the right call.
Twice in a daily cycle.
I expect perpetual inebriation.
See? They're letting in anyone now.
Oh, don't we all? If you must.
Now do carry on. And as always, anticipate and calculate.
Everyone has their little hunchback behind themselves most, but I say you need to ask the common bottom runger consumers. Don't you agree?
They are more profitable program than the Protectorate's watered-down rip-off. Pitchball, they call it. My, how and don't get me started on their arbitrary rule changes. Bronzing is prohibited in the Tuesday and Thursday zones? Why even have the T-zones then? Oh, and sportsmanlike conduct is tolerated? That's serious in the seats. A blood sport without blood sounds like very easy to act. Our tossball teams play for keeps. I witnessed no fewer than 6 critical blood force dramas in last week's contest between the Easy Field Loafers and Spectrum Brand Bandits. I pit our least bankable tossball team against the Protectorate's entire roster of pitchball pushovers any day of the fiscal week. Even with half our team's 32 bats bench, they forfeit by middle time. It would be an embarrassment of body bones. Imagine the ad windfall. Our athletic assets will achieve full profit potential as human billboards. Of course, I also enjoy the simple pleasure of watching professional athletes blood each other. But to a relatable injury, seasonal rules, I'm just like you. Until next time, the Flash Executive Skybox above the line of scrimmage.
Hey, go-getter. Get yourself over here.
Sorry, in the midst of composing
Something I can help you with.
dramatization.
Talk later. Because nature wants to kill you. Instead, our company has grown evolved, consumed the first of many rivals. The original goal remains. You know what our goals? Yes, now we strive to spread unfettered free trade and self-betterment throughout the galaxy. But we do so knowing you persist. Well fortified by our products. So strive, thrive, survive, arrive. Armed with Auntie's Choice. Trust your Auntie. This is Auntie Cleo, offering a warm welcome to all.
You. Yes, you. The maverick outsider. Look, I'll be direct. We've had our eye on you. You possess the sort of rugged, from the meekest flunky to the most milquetoast myrmidon. Why, friend, you're everything they want to be. There's 2 things I desperately require. Realism, authenticity, Sure, some might say they're the same thing, but we're working on a brand new set of advertisements and need your exact kind of distinct perspective. Of course it paid. You've got the stuff that can't be faked. He'll tell you how we do things, how we sell product. Then you provide your expertise, lend your maverick perspective to help him come up with how. All it requires is head into our recording facility when you're...
Constructional, compelling, yet categorically voracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency...
No autographs, I'm afraid. Not outside of special appearances.
Here for a recording session?
Normally I would.
Then I'm back.
Space me.
Confirm your hypotheses with Lemma Protein.
Whether you are in between theorems or in between meals.
Yes?
That I did.
Charmed. Yes, well, dive right in, shall we? To begin, oh, look at this. A little background first to... I'm who you want to be.
Who have...
And I just hate...
Any other general questions before we get started? Funny you should ask. After giving it brief...
Not one.
Well...
All right. I'll ask a few questions. Now, first question. How can we best understand those like you? All right. Now, calling you, every people of the great masses. Next question. How do we best illustrate credibility? Say, through something you know, or hate. Right. Everyone watches for... What's an aspirational goal for those who identify with you? Okay, your last question. And I should mention we have a little leeway to fine-tune the product offering. Now available in purely chemical form. 100% artificial. What nature nurtured, we improved. The only cyst rind you don't need to chew vigorously.
Yes. Suppose I can already... All right, that's a wrap.
Calling you, every people of the great masses. Everyone watches for your next move. So they can copy it. Your needs are different than everyone else's. That's why shenanigans lying down. No! Just like our sponsored tossball team.
Purpleberry product samples. Complimentary Purpleberry comestibles. Compliments of Auntie's Choice.
Turner Tyler, 6th base person for the anti-Leo Darling. Unclean Spacers chose its goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that blue man's gritty face, he was a Cleaver and Twain.
Word on the street is you're the Maverick freelancer from the wire.
Oh, great. Think you dropped something? Yeah, you dropped something. Plenty of opportunists here, eager to take you for all you're worth. You're lucky I found this, thing you dropped. Get me?
Valued employees, Auntie here to brighten your workday with a report on... Just how much money you're...
Let's confine our business is concluded. Adieu.
Starting with product development, the force loaf and butter of our entire operation. Thanks to our marketing wizard selling the sizzle of
At Unrelated Bric-a-Brac, we offer one person...
Improved stimulants and nutrition supplements are up 11%
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Rise. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music.
Step right up for the most exorbitant medical care money can buy.
this installment of Ask a Vicar. First in a trilogy of queries, I am currently working as a statistician.
Ever miss a limited time offer and wonder about how your life would have been?
Statistician. I switch careers.
I receive such queries regularly.
I appreciate your business, but involving your hand to things tends to result in injury.
Conventional thinking won't get you richer on here, Doc. Ever read Working Hard? You seem like a go-getter. Working hard or hardly working? That's rhetorical.
Second query, should I have another offspring? I already have 2 of them.
You look...
Sorry, time is bits. It's time. Or are, that is.
Based on the desired procreation rate of 2.3 offspring per couple. Calculate the sum of the children in the first 5 couples that live to your left. And add to it the sum of the children in the first 5 couples that live to your right. If this total sum is less than 23, you should have another child. If the sum is greater than 23, you should not have another child. If the sum is exactly 23, you should move to a new neighborhood and repeat the experiment. Next query.
Final question for the vicar. Do these pantaloons make my posterior look overly substantial?
No, those pantaloons do not appear as a term in the antecedent of that statement. Instead,
have a profitable day.
Working hard or hardly working? That's rhetorical.
This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote...
Don't let us keep you.
These outer worlds are cruel, the universe is cold. 2.7 Kelvin, if truth be told. Scientism is a lonely field, we research double blind.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice.
Disciplined mind. I can count on you. You can count on me. Golden ratio, geometric harmony.
Live, love,
theories or challenge. When we start a theory,
laugh, purchase, and consume with Auntie's choice.
As your peerless leader known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. No, I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much as all of you masonry and file. The big rig cut off tossballs from home, but our Arcadia Grove League is a worthy substitute. Certainly a more profitable program than the Protectorate's watered-down rip-off. Pitchball, they call it. My, how imaginative. And don't get me started on their arbitrary rule change. Dancing is prohibited in the Tuesday ad.
You seem like a... Ever read the Middle Manager Handbook? Really shores up the foundation of your funds.
You look unfortified. Getting enough emulsifiers in
Any
your
bits
diet?
to spare?
Why, looky here. I see you got her message. Glad you followed up. Now, the question is, are you just here to work an angle, or were you moved by our plight? Just so. We're contracting troubleshooters who shoot from the hip. Preferably who operate. See, us in middle management, we get none of the credit, all of the blame. Catch hell coming and going, with nary a promotion or raise in sight. Well, we've had it. We pulled our funds to hire a maverick outsider like yourself to collect useful information on 3 local persons of interest to help us climb the ladder. See? Can't first person. The sec.
And why is he always waving at everybody?
Head back here when you're done with them two. The third target we'll talk about after. Sort of a controversial. Anything else? Oh, nothing so mundane. Alcantara's core. That's what we want to find out. And that whole smiling. Wonderful! Wonderful. Let me just say that we're all so looking forward to working with you. We can't wait to benefit from the fruit of your efforts. See, everybody? Things are looking up already. Upper middle management, here we come.
Balled off the corporate ladder.
Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us in Tau Ceti. But did Anti-Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Anti-Cleo's darlings refused to do what things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers Chosen.
I'm Jean Turper-Tyler, 6th base person for the Anti-Cleo's Darlings. I cleaved Spacer's Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Anti's choice! Darlings! We won! Hostile takeover this! Right back at you!
I'm Anti-Cleo, and I endorse this message. Attention valued employees. Anti here to brighten your workday with a report on just how much money your toil is getting us. It's time for profit forecasting, starting with product development, the more smoke and butter of our entire operation.
Tramicular takes forever.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension.
Hearing good things. I'm behind you 110%.
Valued students of the Order of the Ascendant, recent fascinating but alarming astronomical events require your immediate Valued students of the Order of the Ascendant, recent fascinating but alarming astronomical events require your immediate and undivided cognitive attention. The main rift anomaly has undergone a sudden destabilization event. spiking in mass and activity, surging 17.2% into a web-like construct spanning 0.17 astronomical units. The geometrical math underlying this energetic intensification reshapes our understanding of exponential dynamics. No exaggeration, we will spend years analyzing this phenomenon. Yet we must suppress our curiosity for the moment. It has become clear that both the large and localized rifts have transitioned into an existential threat to the entire colony. Why our Vicar Laureate was nearly consumed by the rift's runaway expansion while on an important research excursion. He barely escaped being reduced to his constituent nucleons. Our seers predict with a 37.6% certainty that the localized rifts across Arcadia will also intensify. If you observe something, write something. Citing sources and submitting for peer review, of course. Thus, we will save humanity and preserve the rifts for laboratory study, a logical course of action with no risk of mishap.
That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your calculations. Unlike parallel lines, I hope someday we'll meet.
Further beneficial content soon follows. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
We were once two separate points. We had no connection till the aim of the order gave us both direction. Then we were parallel lines traveling into infinity, never to meet, yet in such close proximity. And then one day our eyes did meet, and fate set into motion that telltale surge of dopamine and increased oxytocin. So adrift within a flood of hormonal flirtation, I shall share with you now my heart's complex equation.
Commander, over here. Commander, wanted to chat with you. Ain't heard from Ortiz and... If he's spending his hard-earned bits, would you watch the message with me? Thanks, Commander. Still want to view that data cartridge if you've got... Thanks, Commander.
Hey, Commander. Can we talk? I wanted to apologize for the way I handled things after Greater I've also... Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Only felt right to clear the air. I've learned the hard way what happens when you leave things to fester.
That is the
primitive resonance across Arcadia, this is Grand Plan Wireless. And now for some becoming so in touch with today's inquisitive laypeople youth. Time for Ask a Vicar with Vicar Magsaysay. The charismatic mathematician is always a popular topic. To wit, a listener asks...
Moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. That's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass. Hardly. Her research was unconventional.
Humanity ascending principles, nor did his associations with entities outside academia, which do not always benefit scientism. But come now, how can we fault someone yet to ascend? Like all of us. If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present every moment.
Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
There's no need to suffer from perplexity in the face of a source of large complexity.
This unit is rated for extreme temperatures, like those found on Cloister. However, occasional stalling may...
Hold. We're presently observing a ceasefire with Auntie's choice, but its duration may be subject to sudden reversal. Would hate for you to get caught in any crossfire. See that giant glowing structure in the distance there? That's the... However, I'd caution you to give it a wide... Are you in a high-risk life expectancy bracket? Because everything you're saying is precisely what I'd expect to hear from someone determined to lower the average. You and me both, friend. Cloister has been a difficult front, and losing the art... If you're looking for a way to help us out, I recommend heading to Laplace's garden. There were rifts since before the invasion, of course, but those were relatively stable. We've had no end to the headaches caused by the ones that have spawned since. Lost Newton to a bunch of rift worshippers after a rift appeared on the bridge to the archive. Thankfully, the presiding bishop and the Laureate Council...
Please keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
I find your proposed time unusual. Unaccountably so.
But going any faster grossly increases the threat of collapse. Burying us beneath the snow benefits no one.
So long as we are operating within the statistical parameters given to us. I see absolutely...
Oh, hello. Hello. I suppose I could spare 0.004% of my daily cycle to say hello.
Can't talk. Lovely day for different... Can't talk. Please don't take me on a... Oh, hello. Farewell. Thank you for this efficiently compact conversation.
scienticians acknowledge the value of camphor dust.
The uncountably best salt substitute from the Order of the Ascendant.
Happy to chat for having it. You know, you strike me as someone with a very small...
Show your workers shove off.
Scienticians seek safety in numbers and enlightenment. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance.
Don't bother. Please don't take me on a co-tangent.
2 outcomes. Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance. Only outcome. Complete information yields predictions.
Heard that rip? Halt! The Oracle Laureates, members of Anti...
Huh.
You should heed the wisdom of your friend.
If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin?
Yeah. These hues suit my...
As likely as I find that theory, we have rules and regulations for a reason. We are at war, you might have noticed.
Impresses...
That choice was ever left to
Taking out DeVries? Wouldn't happen to be the universe trying to tell us something, would it? I reckon it's saying... By the way, what DeVries said about Auntie and the Rift Tech, don't take it to heart, huh? Auntie ain't an idiot. Much as she loves business, reckon she loves self-preservation even more.
Expected values and standard deviations, which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability distribution.
I'd agree with you, but I reckon we don't have the time to seek out certainty. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out.
Distributions of sample populations. Such travesty. No, not a travesty. Tragedy.
No reason to reason with you.
A horror the archive will have. Help us avoid. Every bit of data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal, to the solving of the universal equation. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you too can say you contributed to the archive.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. I transmit continued tribulations from Cloister, where our settlement of Newton has yet to recover from calamitous events in its recent history. This critical facility, once a tranquil haven of intellectual inquiry and data extrapolation, remains under the slaughterous thumb of those murderous zealots, the Glorious Dawn. Those homicidal societal cast-offs worship the rifts, the very phenomenon our scienticians are attempting to mitigate. Naturally, our incompatible outlooks put us at odds. If only Dawn's cultists resorted to reasoned discourse rather than wanton bloodletting to promote their point of view. Ultimately, we must prioritize the security of Newton, not just for the safety of its scienticians, but so we might forestall the Rift dilemma and certain doomsday.
So ends this missive.
Continuing as predetermined. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Odescard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating with their faces contorted. No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves.
Ah, Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the she's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. The Artificer Laureate is... Oh, no, not at all. Of course, the rest of the Laureate... Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? All conflict. Those in the garden have enough but may...
Let's get back to Newton Odescard, the famous stellar cartographer. The methodology of the Odescard...
Feels real nice in here. Wouldn't mind us dragging our feet so we can enjoy the warmth a little longer.
Then tag each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black can only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. Subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
categorically voracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
Hey! Only security personnel are permitted. At this time, residents of Laplace's garden are not permitted beyond this point.
And of the plan. Designed for optimal nutritional extraction, they also taste acceptable. From the Order of the Ascendant. An ease-setting witticism to confer to colleagues at break time, the universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own problems. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Initializing. So, how may this unit assist you, Commander?
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of... But I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support. Which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. Really? Are you in charge of a different The corporate invaders will suck Arcadia of its Moreover, once we solve the universal equation, it will benefit all of humanity. You, me, everyone. No more suffering, no more doubt. Well, I hope you'll see there is a task of pivotal importance to the as head of the Order's exemplars. It's my responsibility to assess whose aims upon Ruth may be malicious. That would be because I am, but I believe I was in fact, one such hurdle is at the forefront of my mind. Cultists have come to infest Newton. Newton's I can, however, journey to Newton. Eliminate the cultists to a person. Then we may speak of getting you an audience with Ruth. You're results-oriented. I can understand that. Fine. Expect a tangible... Newton contains the 6 pillars... The cultists are likely perfect. I'll withhold...
You are trouble in the Chamber of Conflict evaluation.
No admittance without the Artificer Laureate's permission.
Agent, over here. Ah, there you are. Just think, remember, seek out ways to help both. In the meantime, I might recommend you... Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
Scientism from their admiring cohort in the Department of Research and Inquiry.
Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
I've got cause trouble and I will school you. Chapter and verse.
Yeah.
I won't think twice about applying the precise amount of force.
Personalized order prediction yet. To a bit of trepidation in regards to opening mine. This is the first one I've received. Use caution as you progress. There's been reports of persistence in the air.
On the way. Let's get you healed. Someone call for a medic.
Soldier, please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100. With 1 being entirely pain-free and 100 being the worst pain I can tell. No, I have many solutions.
Don't bother. Lovely day for differential geometry. Test drive. Well, think thrice before rabble rousing. We have numerical.
As little you can tell me, I couldn't also tell you.
Show your work, Shava. You have a very non-scholarly look.
Can't talk.
Calculating
Have
an
an
inverse
intellectually
complex sine
stimulating
function
day.
in my head.
I've got your numeral. Keep moving.
Latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. And now presenting the Department of Research and Inquiry's analysis of our Arcadian cohabitators, specifically Auntie's Choice, with a focus on their shortcomings. It is a straightforward thesis. A corporate transactional society inevitably suffers from dissatisfaction and fracturing among the population. For empirical evidence, Exhibit A, their product refinement center and chemical plant on Praetor. Occupied early in the corporate incursion of that inhospitable Elysium moon, ostensibly to create sufficient essential materials, lubricants, additives, skincare products, to feed their war effort and appease the superficial wants of their citizenry. Every new consumable must represent a 110% improvement over the previous one, an insulting hyperbole of mathematics and a gross disappointment for their subjects. And yet both facilities produce more problems than products. The chemical plant is a cesspool of industrial waste, byproducts of Auntie's haphazard production process. The product refinement center is plagued by disgruntlement. A splinter group has threatened to over
Not in the... I have nothing to say.
I have too much no reason to reason with you.
In which case, I'll talk to your ear out.
Such inefficiency. Production is at a standstill, and rightly so. These issues are